A generation ago, most infants and toddlers with cerebral palsy were not expected to reach adulthood, but thanks to modern treatment advances and more focus and attentions within the medical community, not forgetting the greater acceptance in society, although there seems to be some social stigma here and there. But most people with cerebral palsy are living long life and full lives. Well, one of such people is 31-year-old Nii Anyetei, and he's defying the limitations by his condition and is doing well in society. And I'm here at Lainapra to see him. It is an incurable neurological disorder that affects body movement and muscle coordination, but does not interfere with the ability to learn. Disability does not mean disadvantage, and Nii Anyetei is a living proof of that. Although he's been greeted with several stigma and discrimination from society, he tells me he has come to terms with his condition.
Well, just like a typical person, there'll be ups and downs and stuff like that. So we go through all those stuff. But then I go through a lot more than a typical person.
A lot more, like
like the stigmatization, the discrimination and all that.
You've been
that kind of thing.
Facing all of that?
Yeah. I still face all of that up till now. But then it has reduced. It has reduced. Not as it used to be in my childhood days. I have come to accept who I am, and what I'm going through. Nobody can do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. Nobody can do anything about it. Yeah. And then you telling me that I can't do anything, well, that's one of the stigmatizations. And then it brings me down. Like, I'm always the one showing that. And then I have come to accept all that. I can't, you not even tell me, I'll just stay back. Yeah, I'll just stay back.
Nii Anyetei's father, Nii Anyetei Akogyeram, is a retired civil servant, and he shares the ordeal he had to go through during the early stages of his son's condition after Nii was unable to sit 12 months after birth.
As they grew, we realized Nii could not sit very well, but he has started sitting and all that. Actually, you have to support him and all that. There we realized there's a problem. So we had to rush back to Kolebu. But when we went, the doctor said, oh, it's normal, he will be okay. That's all. So in fact, most of his life, the moment temperature goes on, we had to rush to 37. They are admitting for some days or weeks. So that's the life we were going on. Until he himself, after growing, then, he is into IT. So he went onto the net and he said, hey, Daddy, this is the problem. The doctors themselves didn't know that yeah. They didn't know. We took it down, well, that's what God has given to us.
But today, he is proud of his son's achievements regardless of his condition.
So, because he's very slow, when it's exams time and he's reading the questions on the board, he will call him, come and stand beside me. He will read the question, what is the answer? Then he says it. So that was how. Because when you live in, everybody will finish in the class, he will still be. He's always jovial. Everybody loves him in church, wherever he is. But still, that stigmatization is still there. We are really proud of him. After that, we are proud of him.
Defying the limitations of his condition, 31-year-old Nii Anyetei now works with a brand like KFC as a management information system surveillance executive. He tells me his greatest achievement so far is creating a foundation that is raising awareness on cerebral palsy and the need to stop the stigmatization meted out to persons suffering from such syndrome across West Africa.
Because I've been through a lot, so I trying to create this foundation to motivate, educate, and help other people with cerebral palsy. So I've been to schools, I've been to churches, I've been to the media, radio, TV, and all that. We have a big project we are planning on doing to celebrate the 5th anniversary.
Abdul Rahman is a bosom friend of Nii Anyetei for 16 good years now, and he had this to say about him.
It's fun to be with. Nii is fun to be with. He's very generous, unless he doesn't have it. But anytime you ask and he has it, he will definitely get it. Yes, at a point in time, even searching for a job became a very big problem. Quite remember, he went for job hunting and came back and told me that there's this front desk receptionist who said beggars are not welcome here.
Nii Anyetei Akogyeram advised parents to desist from abandoning their wards suffering from cerebral palsy syndrome and rather help them explore their God-given talents. Nii Anyetei had this advice for everyone.
Well, I like to tell Ghanaians that there's no the ability in every disability. And then, well, I like to spell the disability with THIS, then ability. So it's this ability, this kind of ability. Yeah. And then people with disabilities should never give up on themselves, despite the stigmatization and everything. The key word is never give up. I've been able to create the cerebral palsy awareness in most parts of West Africa.
It's been successful.
It's been very successful.
It's been great coming. It's been very awesome. I'm very appreciative for having me here. I'm hoping that Ghanaians will get to accept, the kind of syndrome people with cerebral palsy are faced with. We are no less of a human being. We are just as we are. Thanks so much for having me. And on that note, we see stop stigma against persons suffering from cerebral palsy syndrome. They are no less of a human being. They are just as you and I are. One thing I've learned from this particular report is that many of these individuals suffering from cerebral palsy are with so many potentials hidden in them. Please, when you do not have a baby suffering from this kind of syndrome, don't hide them in the room. Give them the opportunity to explore the God-given talents they have. On that note, Isaac Otu, reporting for Adwan News here at La.